Now, Lee Jae-myung is being sworn in as South Korea's new president, a day after winning a snap election. These are live pictures coming from the South Korean capital, Seoul, of the event. There he is with his wife on the stage, about to be sworn in. He's taking the oath of office. This is not an inauguration ceremony. That'll happen later next month. But he's, as we can see, live pictures here of him taking the oath of office. Let's just listen in to the sounds of the event.
다음은 애국가를 제창하겠습니다. 국방부 군악대대의 연주와 성악병의 선도로 1절을 함께 부르겠습니다.
All right, so you're watching live pictures there coming from the South Korean capital, Seoul, of South Korea's new president, Lee Jae-myung, taking the oath of office there. He is not being inaugurated yet. That's going to happen sometime next month. But the election of the Democratic Party leader follows, of course, Sunday's snap poll, which followed months of political turmoil triggered by the impeachment of Yoon Suk-yeol following his attempt to declare martial law last year. So if you're just joining us here in Al Jazeera, these are live pictures coming from the South Korean capital, Seoul, of Lee Jae-myung taking the oath of office as the new South Korean president. All right, so let's bring in Jack Barton, who joins us live now from the South Korean capital, Seoul. Jack, so as we're talking to you, we're seeing the pictures there of Lee Jae-myung being sworn in. He's taking an oath of office, but of course, as we were saying, Jack, he's not being inaugurated just yet. Tell us what the ceremony is all about then and what we can expect.
Yeah, well, this is the oath of office, so it is really a swearing-in ceremony. He is officially the president in a few minutes when it takes place. It is going to be a very short ceremony. We just saw them standing for the national anthem. There will be a moment of silence for those who've fallen on the battlefields, a short remarks by the Speaker of the National Assembly, and then the swearing in. And then he will be giving a 15-minute address to the nation. And we know some of the topics he'll be touching on. He'll be talking, of course, about martial law and the need to move on and to sort of bring the nation back together, but also a big focus on the economy, measures that will be needed to boost what is a contracting economy, diplomatic, the need to reach out to North Korea after very tense relations under the administration of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol, and other foreign policy areas like the need for cooperation with Japan, something that in the past he has been very much against. Now, we're not going to have an inauguration ceremony next month. He's decided to jettison that term altogether. Lee feels it implies, a celebratory day for a leader, whereas in fact he wants this to be about the people's choice. So on July 17, there will be an appointment day. That's what they're calling it, where he will sort of all of the formal ceremony that goes with an inauguration.
Jack, let me just jump in there. Let me just jump in there, Jack, and just go back to those live pictures of Lee Jae-myung being sworn in. Let's just listen in. Yeah, Jack, so I think he's just been sworn in. Jack, you were talking about the sort of daunting tasks that Lee now faces in terms of uniting a deeply divided country, a slowing economy, allegations of rampant corruption, and of course he will need to address the issue of trade tariffs and try and do a deal with the Trump administration. And as you say, all of this against the backdrop of a more belligerent North Korea.
Yeah, that's right. And the trade tariffs are really his top priority at the moment. The tariffs on South Korea range from 25 to 50% on steel. Some of them have been suspended, but tariffs on automobiles and steel are in place. And the steel tariffs are a really big deal for South Korea, given it is for the United States. South Korea represents the fourth largest sort of import of steel for the country. So this is an industry already struggling here, and it's going to be hit even harder by these tariffs. So he said that is the priority. But beyond that, it's also about reforming the Constitution to make it much harder for any future administration to declare martial law, as well as sweeping out the last remnants of the country's authoritarian past. Now, how to do that without upsetting the Conservatives, who, of course, still say that he weaponized impeachment during Yoon's term. And this is something even many people in his own party sort of agree with, and they hope that this ends. We saw many politicians impeached and even prosecutors impeached. The Constitutional Court throwing out all of those impeachments, apart from Yoon, but it really brought the whole process to a gridlock, and it's one of the reasons, it's thought, why Yoon declared martial law. So people want an end to that, and of course Lee faces the dilemma. How do you ensure accountability for those responsible for martial law, which in his eyes is the Conservative bloc, without deepening the divisions, which he has come to office saying he is here to heal?
All right, Al Jazeera's Jack Barton there talking us through that oath of office ceremony that South Korea's new president, Lee Jae-myung, has been taking his oath of office there. And if you're just joining us here in Al Jazeera, South Korea now has a new president, Lee Jae-myung. He's just taken his oath of office. Jack, for the time being, thank you.
이제는 꿈과 희망이 넘치는 국민 행복 시대를 활짝 열어